Zlatan Ibrhimović, a name synonymous with confidence, talent, and a touch of arrogance. His presence on the field is unmistakable, his charisma undeniable. Born in 1981, his story begins far from the bright lights of professional football in the tough neighborhood of Rosengard, Sweden, a place where dreams often seemed out of reach. But for Zlatan, it was the starting point of an extraordinary journey. His parents, immigrants from Bosnia and Herzegovina, struggled to make ends meet. They worked tirelessly to provide for their family, instilling in Zlatan a sense of resilience and determination. Life was hard, opportunities scarce. The streets of Rosengard were filled with challenges, but also with the spirit of community and the hope of a better future. But young Zlatan found solace and escape in a worn-out football. That simple ball became his companion, his confidant, and his ticket to a different world. The streets became his playground, his feet his paintbrush. Every dribble, every kick was a stroke of genius, a testament to his growing talent. He honed his skills with a raw passion, an almost arrogant belief in himself. It was this unshakable confidence that set him apart from his peers. He was different, and he knew it. His confidence was often mistaken for arrogance, but for Zlatan, it was simply a belief in his own potential. He wasn't just playing football, he was living it, breathing it, dreaming it. Every moment was dedicated to the game, every thought consumed by the desire to excel. Even then, amidst the concrete jungle of Rosengard, a star was being born. His talent was undeniable, his drive unstoppable, his talent couldn't be ignored. Coaches, scouts, and even his peers began to take notice of the young prodigy. He joined local clubs, his skills blossoming with each passing game. Each match was a step closer to his dream, each goal a testament to his hard work. His unique style, a blend of power and finesse, set him apart. He wasn't just another player, he was a phenomenon in the making. He was brash, outspoken, a constant challenge to authority. His fiery personality often led to clashes, but it also fueled his ambition. He wasn't just a footballer, he was a force of nature. His presence on the field was electrifying, his passion contagious. He dreamed big, bigger than anyone dared to dream in Rosengard. His aspirations knew no bounds, his vision was clear. He saw beyond the cramped streets, beyond the limitations of his surroundings. He envisioned a future where he would rise above it all. He saw himself on the world stage, a legend in the making. The roar of the crowd, the thrill of the game, it was all within his grasp. And in his heart, he knew Zlatan was destined for greatness. His journey was just beginning, but his destiny was already written in the stars. Zlatan's journey was never going to be easy. From the very beginning, he faced obstacles that would have deterred many. Growing up in a tough neighborhood in Malmö, he had to fight for everything. Football was his escape, his sanctuary, but even there, the path was fraught with challenges. His fiery temperament and outspoken nature often clashed with the rigid structures of Swedish football. The coaches, accustomed to discipline and conformity, found it hard to handle a player who refused to be molded. Zlatan's passion and intensity were often mistaken for arrogance and disrespect. Coaches found him difficult, a constant challenge to their authority. They were used to players who followed orders without question, but Zlatan was different. He questioned, he challenged, and he pushed back. This made him a target for criticism and reprimand. He was told to tone down his individuality, to conform. The message was clear: fit in or be left out. But for Zlatan, fitting in was never an option. He had a unique style, a flair that set him apart, and he wasn't willing to sacrifice that for anything. But Zlatan was never one to be put in a box. He thrived on proving people wrong, on defying expectations. His defiance was not just a rebellion, it was a statement of his belief in his own abilities. He believed in himself even when others doubted. This self-belief was his armor, protecting him from the negativity and criticism that came his way. It was this confidence that fueled his performances on the field. He knew his worth, and he wasn't afraid to express it. This often came across as arrogance, but for Zlatan, it was simply an acknowledgement of his own potential. He knew what he was capable of, and he wasn't going to let anyone tell him otherwise. This self-belief, bordering on arrogance, was often misinterpreted. Many saw it as a lack of respect for authority and tradition. But for Zlatan, it was a necessary mindset to survive and thrive in a world that was constantly trying to bring him down. Some saw it as disrespect, but it was his fuel. his driving force. Every criticism, every doubt only made him more determined to succeed. He used the negativity as motivation, turning it into a powerful force that drove him to excel. He used their doubts to push himself harder, to prove them wrong. Every training session, every match was an opportunity to show what he was capable of. He pushed himself to the limit, always striving to be better, to be the best. Despite the challenges, his talent couldn't be ignored. His performances on the field spoke for themselves. He had a natural ability, a raw talent that was impossible to overlook. Even those who doubted him had to acknowledge his skill. He moved through the youth ranks, his performances demanding attention. Each game was a showcase of his abilities, a testament to his hard work and determination. He was making a name for himself, one goal at a time. He was raw, unpolished, but undeniably gifted. His style was unconventional, his approach unorthodox, but that was what made him special. He brought something different to the game, something that couldn't be taught. He possessed a touch of magic, an ability to create something out of nothing. His creativity on the field was unmatched, his vision and skill setting him apart from his peers. He had the ability to change the course of a game with a single move. He was different, and that difference was starting to shine through. His uniqueness was no longer a liability, it was becoming his greatest asset. He was beginning to stand out, to be recognized for his talent and potential. Even his critics, those who questioned his attitude, couldn't deny his talent. They saw the potential, the flashes of brilliance that hinted at something special. They began to realize that his confidence was not misplaced. They saw glimpses of greatness, flashes of brilliance that hinted at a special player. His performances were becoming more consistent, his talent more evident. He was no longer just a difficult child, he was a rising star. He was a diamond in the rough, a rough diamond that was slowly but surely being polished by his own unwavering belief and the heat of competition. Each challenge, each setback was shaping him, preparing him for the greatness that lay ahead.